And actually, after college, I saw that you wanted to be a book editor, but then you sort of got sidelined into marketing. But there was a point you made about how you had an interview with Simon and Schuster or somebody, but you just didn't go for it. I think that's a really interesting point. How you almost sort of denied yourself the opportunity rather than just at least going for the interview. And I think that might help some of our listeners who are thinking, okay, we're in a situation, but we've got other opportunities. Maybe do you want to expand on that?
I'd love to. I'd love to. So the context of that is, as we spoke, I loved literature. I loved ideas. I mean, my mom used to, when I was bored, my mom would say, read a book, and I would. So I loved books, right? So my idea, my big dream was I will be an editor at some point, helping authors birth their book ideas. So I even went to NYU, the Publishing Institute, and met people and woohoo. But back then on my Smith Corona typewriter, can you imagine? Has sent out 50 resumes. And in part because of how I was raised, my parents were, Depression era, World War II. You don't squander, you take the job. So I got offered this marketing job right out of school, 3 weeks out of school, 4 weeks. So I took it. Now, it's interesting. Marketing is comprised of how we communicate. And so I'm good at it, but it sure wasn't the dream. So 3 weeks into that job, I'm not remembering it. Random House, Simon & Schuster, one of the biggest ones in New York, and I lived in Brooklyn, wrote me, you sound like blah, blah, blah. Would you like to interview for the assistant editor job? And what does little good girl Kathy say? I can't do that. What would they think of me? Oh, what a mistake. What a darn mistake. So as the coach, I'm telling everyone, you go on the interview, always interview. And no matter what job you're in right now, no matter how happy, unhappy, you should be interviewing every 3 months, every 6 months. I don't mean just to kick the tire. I mean to understand your worth and your value in the workplace and what's available. I didn't go. I don't remember what I responded. There weren't emails back then. I wrote a letter. Now, it's funny, 18 years in corporate life, and it got progressively terrible. But would I change that now? That whole thing that I did, it was a huge mistake, but I wouldn't be doing the work I'm doing now, probably, because the work I'm doing is informed by many years of sublimating myself and what women go through when they reach high levels in corporate life. So it's all in some ways what's meant to be. But I would say, what a different trajectory, what a different life if I had honored myself and just gone on the interview. And if I'd gotten the job, look, people, here's another thing. When you go to a job, you don't sign your name in blood to this job. So many young people, but I can't leave. And what are they going to say? My dad was in GE for 30 years. There was a different relationship back then. There was more loyalty from the organization. Forget it. Oh, I'm not saying don't be loyal. I'm saying put yourself first. It's your life. What could be more important than your life? Interview and don't worry about now. What you don't want to do is jump around every 3 months and quit. I mean, there's something wrong there if you're doing that, and it doesn't look good for your LinkedIn profile and resume. But put yourself first. Pursue the big dream.